So, speaking of partisan hack jobs, I have a article from the Epic Times. It is titled "Congresswoman Introduces Articles of Impeachment Against President Trump." It is written on January 8th, 2021. It is by Zachary Steiber. So this is Rep. Sheila Jackson Lee, a Democrat of Texas, on Thursday introduced articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump. She said the storming of the U.S. Capitol by protesters during the joint session of Congress compelled her to act. Now, she states, and I quote, "Yesterday, we saw domestic enemies incite violence and invade the people's house with intent to harm. Enough is enough. The president has completely lost whatever moral authority he had and is unfit as commander-in-chief." So then, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi earlier Thursday said Congress might move forward with trying to impeach the president if Vice President Mike Pence and Trump's cabinet didn't act to remove him via the 25th Amendment. She and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer later said they had not heard from Pence on the matter. Requests for comment to the White House and Pence's office weren't returned. Now, that all being said, the 25th Amendment, you can go through the vice president and then you have to go through the rest of the cabinet. They have to appoint some sort of special counsel, or I think they can vote on. I'm not really exactly sure the specifics of it. If it happens, I will cover it for everybody to try to break it down. Now, this, to be clear, this is a repudiation not only of Trump, this idea of impeachment or 25th Amendment. This is a repudiation of the American people, of Trump supporters, conservatives across the nation. This is something that they are trying to punish him. They're trying to humiliate him. It is punitive. It is strictly punitive. And also, they are actually afraid of him, because if they impeach him now, then he can never run for president in 2024. They are legitimately afraid of MAGA. They are afraid of making America great again. And they want to... And they what they don't see right now is, and this is the positive part that I said I had for this show, is that Trump has fundamentally changed what the Republican Party is. They're now not willing, as long as you have a Trump, whether it is or a Trump or a Ted Cruz or a Josh Hawley or there's a couple out there, as long as you have fighters, what's the other one, Matt Gaetz, as long as you have fighters for the conservative cause, they're not going to lay down like the old Republican Party did. That's why Mitt Romney is getting so much praise from the Democrat parties and the ilk in the media, because that is what they want. They want an easy opponent that is going to comply and back down to social pressures, and that is not Donald Trump. And they can't handle it. So what they want to do is they want to humiliate him, because he made them look like clowns in the government. He made their job look like it's easy. He made them look like idiots. The things that were being done in the last couple years, with the exception of 2020 with the COVID nightmare, economically, in trade deals, as well as some peace deals in the Middle East, he made them look like idiots. He made them look like they're completely incompetent and they have no idea what they're doing. And it is an America First agenda, and they don't like that either, because they want to instill globalism with their policies. So this is a repudiation of the American people. They want the American people to reject him, and this is what they're going for here. And they also want to reject the American people and American first incentives and principles. And they also are legitimately afraid of him running in 2024. And that's what they're going. That's why they're going for this. And they want to humiliate. And I've said this before. I told my family members. I told them this. I said, if he doesn't win the next election, even if he wins the next election, they're going to go after him with everything they have. They're going to weaponize the law enforcement apparatus or the Department of Justice, and they're going to go after him again, just like they did before when he won the election. They cannot handle somebody being in there that is not from the establishment. And that's Republicans and Democrats. That's not just the Democrat Party. So I'm going to go on here. It states, the newly introduced impeachment resolution alleges Trump abused the powers of the presidency when he, on January 2nd, called Georgia Secretary of State and asked him to look into alleged election irregularities. Trump, during the call, also claimed he won the state despite President-elect Joe Biden being certified as the winner, following several recounts. I don't really know exactly if those are valid articles of impeachment. I'm not 100% sure. Now, Trump will remain a threat to national security and the Constitution if allowed to remain in office, the resolution states. A Biden spokesman told news outlets that the president-elect and vice president-elect are focused on their duty preparing to take office on January 20th and will leave it to VP Pence, the cabinet, and the Congress to act as they see fit. The Democratic-controlled House of Representatives impeached Trump earlier last year over a call he had with the Ukrainian president. That was a third time in history a president was impeached. So this is going to be the very, if they go for this, this will be. And I don't think VP Pence is going to throw him under the bus here. I think that if anything, they'll go with articles of impeachment. It won't be done, but it'll be the very first time that somebody's been impeached twice by the House of Representatives because they hold a majority right now. And now they're regularizing the idea of impeachment. Now, impeachment is now a normal option and is now being used politically as a political weapon, whereas the precedent of it now, if you want to talk about constitutionally, there's no precedent. There's no, it is a political act in nature, but this is now becoming a sense of normalcy in impeaching presidents. Just for the future, just so everyone knows, if there's somehow some sort of impeachment of a Democrat in the future, then you'll kind of understand why, because they set the stage for it.